Hey guys, Adam Broussard here, 38 degrees, 645 in Lafayette, Louisiana. When did my life change? Well, when I started seeking God. What was another change? Having strong spiritual friends. You know, there's a difference between talking to people that are just non-spiritual and people that are deeply spiritual. And you can tell these folks because nothing disturbs them. And when it starts doing, if something starts creeping in and it's overwhelming, they start vocalizing, talking to God, and trying to let it go and do His will. So I'm around different people, and sometimes I think I'm around somebody who is spiritually fit, and then you have some chaos happening and they're squirming. But the closer I get to people and that are trying to achieve similar sainthood like me, then you don't see them getting disturbed. And if they start feeling uncomfortable or disturbed, they're really discerning what is God trying to teach or show. It's not, oh man, this and complain, and this and complain. No, it's what is being revealed to me right now. And that's a hard thing to try to understand and develop. It's still difficult for me. But I am working daily to just let go of the circumstances around me and just to keep going and operating no matter what's happening. And it's very rare for me to meet somebody who I can see that's trying to obtain the same thing, and it doesn't look, there's people, rich, poor, all that stuff like that, that have those qualities, and I'm not saying, once again, it'll take one bad thing, okay, that could derail me on how I think and feel right now. So this is why I work on my spiritual life. This is why I have spiritual brothers that can hold me up during times of my adversity that I can't hold myself up. And that's a way for God to interject and say, hey, I need to prop you up. I tell people all the time, look, you see me confident, you see me, going through ups and downs, but trying not to lose focus, or not losing focus, or losing my head, or whatever. Don't be fooled to think that there's not some circumstances where I will be brought literally to my knees crying, like instantly, okay? And you have to understand that everybody's got the weak points. And so there is for sure things that you can do to me, or that the world can do to me, that would bring me to my knees instantly, and my knees go down right now on everything, because I'm prayerful. But when I'm talking to my spiritual brothers and relate to them, like the reason why we get close in these deals is for the sheer fact that those times where we need to hang on each other, that is Christ picking us up. He's literally using people to help you. You ever notice during times of trial, death, or for hospitalization and stuff like that, that there's meal trains, there's people reaching out, they're saying, hey, how can we help, and all this kind of stuff. That's Christ there working through those people being charitable. That's love. That's human love. And so the more that you have those type of relationships, and it doesn't have to be a lot. Like, I don't think I have a lot of friends at all, to be honest with you. I'm very much a family man, and family oriented and business oriented and spiritually oriented. But I go to the Crescio Center, and I have a bunch of brothers in there that I see every once, a couple times a year, and we always pick up where we left off. And where we left off is the spiritual battle we're ensuing right now. That's where we left off. Is these are my struggles right now, and then what happens is you spiritual group, and you start realizing, like, man, these guys all go through the same thing. I mean, we're, as a man, we think we are all different. People always think we're just so different from somebody else. And that's true to some degree. But we're all built the same in the likeness and image of God. We all have the same type of feelings. We all have similar circumstances that happen to us, health and finances and relationships. But the free will to navigate through that is the incredible part about life. And so, you pick up on people that, hey, they've experienced the chaos that you've experienced, or they've experienced something that they can relate to the degree of just saying, hey, this is what happened to me. Short story. I was experiencing a lot of anxiety a few years ago, and I was around one of my spiritual brothers. I was telling him, like, man, this is very uncommon for me to have this much anxiety, like, long standing. Like, it wasn't just like an hour or a day. This was like every day I'm feeling like this pressure. And once again, just very odd. And me and him starts talking, and he was explaining that he felt that way in his circumstances about this, boom, boom, boom. And he brings up, he goes, man, have you ever had, like, this was just random, have you ever had, like, ants, crawling around your house? No. I answered him no. He goes, man, when I was going through this, I don't know where or what, I live in a brand new house, and I had ants all of a sudden just by my nightstand running. I went to go try to find where they come from. Couldn't find where they came from. And so we got rid of them, cleaned them, boom, 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 and they were gone. And he's like, I know it had something to do. And it seems silly, right? Super silly. Like, what are you talking about, ants? I took him serious because I know him. That he felt that was that he was being spiritually attacked, and what was happening to him, along with the fact that ants was there. A few hours later, I called my wife, see how they're doing, because we were working a Crescio together. And I'm on the phone with her. All of a sudden, she just starts saying, "What is all this? It's ants everywhere. I don't even know where they're coming from." Boy, and I'm like, what? I have to connect that with I'm like, he goes, man, I told you, you getting under attack. I said, okay. Actually made me feel a little bit better, to be honest with you. And after I left there, it subsided, the anxiety. A lot of prayer to God, okay. Well, why don't we backtrack about a month ago at my office, having some similar anxieties on the things that I'm doing and going through in business and stuff like that, just the painful process sometimes of what's going on. Well, what comes up next to me on my desk in my coffee? For about 2 weeks, I literally had ants, like sugar ants. Don't know where they came from. I'm on the second floor. They just came up all just to say hi, boom, for about 2 weeks. And I felt different, different than I do now. And the world is working with you, whether your mindset is strong or weak. And, you cannot believe me about ants. I got many, many other stories. But the moral of today's talk is the brotherhood that you have to develop with strong spiritual people in order to help your spiritual growth. And you'll get in these conversations, and all of a sudden life looks differently. Life is all in colors. The more spiritual in tune you are, connected to the vine with God, the more colors look different. The more people talk different. The more sympathetic you are to what people are going through, the less you can be aggressive. I'm an aggressive type of guy for sure. But you can still be in tune with life. And so the stronger bonds I have with people in that spiritual area, spiritual group in my life, well, the more I keep on talking about God and how awesome He is. And so you know what happens when I talk to other people who don't believe in God? They hear about God. I've had people tell me, I talk more about God than I really realize. And nobody said I do it in an ugly way, which is great. I don't want to come down on people that, especially if they don't believe, but I just want them to see God working in me through my struggles, my pains, and my adversities, And I build that muscle up by spiritual grouping with some good brothers. So I hope that helps anybody. Stay connected. If you need somebody to connect with, shoot me a message. Have a good evening. God bless.